This video is for people who are new to laser tag or who want to start their own laser tag club. It will be a full guide on how to use the equipment manufactured by LASERWAR. When you purchase the equipment, your package must include the following items: a tagger, a sensor which can be represented by a headband, helmet or vest, a key to switch on the tagger, a remote control or a first aid kit to activate the set, tagger plus sensor, and some charging devices. This one in particular is the Spider charging device. Later on we will talk about these in more details. The pairing process between a tagger and a sensor occurs via inbuilt Bluetooth modules. Mostly people tend to switch on one tagger and one sensor, then they wait for those to pair. And if you have 20 sets, then it can be rather time consuming. Let's say there are two instructors, one is switching on the taggers, the second one, the sensors. The taggers and sensors get paired. Just press and hold the reload button on the tagger and the paired sensor will glow. The sound effects that follow when a tagger and a sensor got paired differ depending on what generation you have. Let's start with the 8th generation. This is an MP9 LT Phoenix. The key lock switch is located here. If you have a display, you will see the number indicating generation of the electronics and the firmware version. Let's take an 8th headband and switch it on. When a tagger and a headbands get paired, the headband will vibrate. If you missed that moment, on the display you will see player's ID and team color. To make sure that the sensor has connected to this particular tagger, let's press and hold the reload button, and we see the glowing effect of the headband. Usually we put a headband on the tagger so that the players did not mix up the equipment. 9th generation, here we have an AR-15 Ranger. The key lock switch is here, bolt action reload, which is rather authentic. A 9th generation headband differs a lot from an 8th generation headband. You should put on the headband correctly. The power jack should be looking down in case it rains. The turn on, off button is to the left. Now we press and hold the button for a couple of seconds. You will hear a short beeping sound. Now we turn on the tagger. We hear a few brief beeping sounds, and which means that the headband and the tagger are paired successfully. Let's check if the headband has connected to this particular tagger. I did not hear or see anything, but you must have noticed how the sensors lit up with blue color for a couple of seconds. Expert time. You may come up with the questions why I, when using 8th generation, switched on the gun first and when using 9th generation the headband. Well, it does not really in what order you do that matter after all. 10th generation. The 9th generation and 10th generation headband look alike, but when you switch on one of those you will hear the difference. That's an interesting decreasing sound. When you put on the headband, pay attention to the power jack, it should be looking down. Now I want to demonstrate what information is available on the display of this gun, AK-15 Warrior, which has bolt action reload. For you not to miss on anything, I will switch off the headband and start over again. Now we hear this decreasing sound again. Let's switch on the tagger. On the display we see the number indicating the generation, first digit, then follows the firmware version. Now let's pair the headband and the gun. To finish what we started, we just need to switch on the headband.
Red team!
Pairing was successful, and on the display we see a bit more information: team color, player's ID, Wi-Fi signal strength. This Wi-Fi icon is blinking because the set is not connected to the Wi-Fi network. Beneath this icon you will see the battery level. And the skull icon shows that the set is not active. Expert time. Let's learn a little more about this AK-15 gun. Here we see the power jack, same as in previous guns. This is the selector switch button. And here is the bolt for reloading. The tagger and the headband are paired but not active, so, when I drag the bolt, the headband will glow with team color and vibration will follow. Alphatag, 11th generation. One of the key visual differences is the sensor shape, which is a flat hexagon now compared to circular shape sensors with caps which bulge outward. This an Alphatag helmet, the turn-on button in the right side of it. Now I press and hold the button for a few seconds. While the sensor is switching, you can see the following info on the display: bootloader version, firmware version and serial number. If you see a blinking weapon icon, it means that the sensor is searching for the gun to pair. Apart from that, we see a router icon. Nearby there can be an indicator of the Wi-Fi signal strength, but we are not connected to the Wi-Fi network. Also we can see the device name, head_IR15. At the top right corner there is a battery level icon. Only Alphatag displays battery level in %. And at the bottom left corner we can see a circle, which means that the helmet is not in the game. Let's turn on the gun. We took MP9 LT Phoenix as an example. The power-up sound is unique and you will never confuse it with any other generation. When the tagger is switching on, we see bootloader version, firmware version and serial number. Once the gun and the sensor are paired, you will see a big check mark icon on both devices. On the display we can also see the helmet ID, which helps us identify the sensor, which works in conjunction with our gun. But we can check it the old-fashioned way by pressing and holding the reload button, and our sensor will light up with purple color for a few seconds. All the sets are in a standby mode. Let's activate them. I have a Nano Remote, Smart Remote Pro and a first aid kit in my disposal, so I can use any of these devices to do that. I'm gonna use the first aid kit to activate all the equipment at a time. Let's run some showcase on how the equipment performs when activated. 8th generation.
Waiting for orders.
When you run out of ammo, you hear a misfire sound effect. During the game on the display you can see your HPs and ammo level. Let's reload the gun. There is a bar which shows how much time is left till the gun is reloaded. The next one, 9th generation, AR-15.
Waiting for orders.
The same misfire effect, the same info on the display. The same animation which indicates the reloading process. Let's carry on. 10th generation, AK-15. I will use a Nano Remote to activate this gun.
Waiting for orders.
During the game the display of a 10th generation gun shows a little more information. At the top of the screen there is a Wi-Fi icon, below it there is a battery level icon. Letter A stands for the fire mode, which is automatic here. To enter single shot mode, I need to press and hold the selector switch button, but if I remove my finger from the button the gun switches back to automatic firing mode. Bolt action reload system. The same reload animation. At the top right corner of the screen, we see the number of bullets left and below that the number of the magazines. 11th generation or Alphatag. The pairing process is much faster than with any other generation.
Go, go, go.
That was a menacing sound. You know what? The quality of sound of 11th generation seems to be much better. Let's reload. The Alphatag display is way more informative. We can see the device ID, ammo level, number of the magazines, firing mode, weapon damage, armor level if you are using a vest and HPs. The sound effects are fantastic. The reload buttons are durable whatever weapon you use. We use Li-ion batteries for our equipment. There are two types of charging devices. The first group includes Spider and Smartly Plus, the second Firefly and Li Plus. We use Spider and Smartly Plus 4 sensors and guns of 8th generation, for any game devices apart from Trinity Grenade, for any gun apart from the first revision of the 11th generation, which is any Alphatag gun purchased before the 1st of August 2022. Firefly and Li Plus we use mainly for sensors and for the first revision of the 11th generation guns. To sum up, in this video we learned how to switch on the taggers and pair them with the sensors. In the next videos you will learn how to connect two sensors or guns together, how to configure the equipment using our software and how to read the game statistics.